Hi guys. I just wanted to update you on my planners for 2017. My last update was like a month ago, and I'm laughing because I went to speak about my pen. I said this is the pen of my love, or this is the love of my pen life, and then I went to say what it was, and I totally blanked out for like 45 seconds thinking, what? It's Friday evening, and been a really long week at work, as I'm sure a lot of you can sympathize with. This is a Pilot Vanishing Point in the in the Raiden collection, and so I was struggling to think of what is this pen other than it's magical and I love it. So I just wanted to show you this. This has been my constant companion. All right, now that I've said that, it is an integral part of my planning system. So I have been using the Inkwell Press in the Flex, which is the horizontal layout, and I have been using the Arc Notebook in the 9 by 12 or 8.5 by 11 for work. So personal and work. And I previously went from a Hobonichi Weeks, which was a Hobonichi Cousin, to a Hobonichi Weeks, trying to carry everything with me, and it wasn't working. So if you're interested in that, it's my video called One Book July Be Damned, Planner Update March 2017, and so now I'm at April of 2017, April 21st, and I'm giving you an update on how this is working. So this is working great. I have to say that I feel so much better about it. The health problems, the health issues, the health whatever that we're dealing with, you want to call it, haven't necessarily gone away, but this has made things so much easier to deal with. In fact, just the other day, I had the Hobonichi Weeks on my desk well, I was carrying it around with me. Then I took it out of my purse because I wasn't really using it. Then I put it on my desk, and just a couple days ago, I took it off my desk and put it in my drawer because I really haven't touched it since I've been in these two. I find that if I need to write something down, I have my phone to put it on. I have a Galaxy Note, and so I can just write it on there and then transfer it into whatever planner I need later. Kind of sad that I'm not using Hobonichi Weeks, but it was stressing me out so much. Like, I associate that with stress. I don't know why that is. Well, I know why, because it was stressing me out. So let me just take you through this and show you how I'm using it, and I'll be pretty quick about it, I think. I hope. We'll see. So I got this planner later, and so what I've been using, I got it in March when it was on sale, and so what I've been using, the pages that were old, the January and February pages, I'm just using them to do meal planning. So to do meal planning, well, actually, you know what I'm thinking about doing, and maybe you can write in the comments if you're even interested at all. It's so weird. Well, it's not weird. I won't even bring that part of it up. But I've been, like, years ago, more than 10 years ago, I found the Fly Lady online. And the Fly Lady is a person who has come up with a system of how to keep your house organized and clean. And I found this, like, we've been married for 12 years. And so I found this a couple years after we got married, maybe a year, and I just needed help, like, keeping up my house. And I hadn't, after living with my husband for about a year, and then we'd been married for about a year or two, I was never really adjusted to, like, now taking care of space that more than one person had lived in. And so I found her, and I implemented quite a few things that she talked about, and I really incorporated them into my life. And anyway, without getting it, I feel like I'm actually starting to make that video. I think I'm going to make some videos about the Fly Lady. If you're interested, maybe put in the comments that you're interested, and if you're not, please put that as well, because I don't necessarily want to make something that the people that are watching my videos don't want to see. But I've been wanting to do that for a while now, because I've picked her system back up, I've read all of her books, and I'm feeling for the first time that I'm really getting it. So anyway, I completely went off the rails there, but how it was related to what I was showing you is she has a whole system for meal planning, and I've taken a lot of that, and I had incorporated that years ago that I've always done. And so that's what is happening on these pages. So these old pages I use for meal planning or whatever. And so I'm just marking it with a removable sticky note. In fact, Friday night is the night that I make my menus, and I make my menu, my grocery list, and the food that I have on hand, and I just use a page for that, and it's been working out well. So I don't feel like I've wasted any of my planner. And then what I do is I do all like my brainstorming here, and then I will transfer this into the Eat Well meal planner so that I have a nice area where all of my running menus have been, and it has a grocery list and all that. I've shown that in a video if you're interested. It's in the Eat Well planner video. I think I have that video. Maybe it's just it's in my One Book July video. Anyway, having a hard time focusing, have been for a little while. I think part of it is the whirlwind of medication and things I've taken, and then or I'm taking, and this we started our second semester at school, and oh my gosh, I'm just crazy. I've also been using it to like keep an inventory of the medications that I have, because sometimes my doctor's asking for those, and so I put those on like the unused pages. So I haven't really been using the monthly calendars, just because when I transferred everything over from my Hobonichi weeks, in the weeks I had written everything up until June in the weekly pages, not in the monthlies, because I was using the monthlies for different things. So I just transferred all the stuff that was in the weeklies onto here, and I didn't bother to put it in the monthlies. I didn't feel like I needed to. So I haven't actually started using the monthlies until July, and that's when I have things written in, because I had from July on only in the monthly calendar in the weeks, and so then I transferred it here. Normally I would do forward planning here and then transfer it weekly, but it's been kind of nice that it's already in my weeks. I haven't used the mission board or the plan and focus or the daily habit tracker pages at all. And when did I start this? So part of what I was talking about, I must have started like right about here. This was like a failed kind of, well, I had been doing this before, but well, I shouldn't say it's a failed experiment. So one of the things I had talked about was that I wanted space, some white space. Everything was so crammed, and it was so hard to read in the Hobonichi weeks. It was so stressful. And so you can see that I did have white space, and I had space to write things and like write them big enough so that I could see them. And so I had place to put all of my, to-dos, my appointments. I was using these little side boxes for morning medication, evening medication, and a meal plan. Then I was using this section over here for the Fly Lady zone, or the Fly Lady daily missions. And then I was using this side over here for the monthly habit and whatever notes I might have had for that week. So this was working really well. And on days where I didn't have, much to do, it was kind of nice to have some white space. But you can see that, I'm making good use of the space because I was busy. I had a lot to do. Had a lot going on. So in April, again, I just kept up with the same thing that I had done before. Medications. This sits on my desk where I do a lot of my stuff. We live in a really small house, so we don't have like a table. Now that might be weird to some of you. So my husband and I sit at these big, beautiful desks that my dad made for us. They're massive. And so this is kind of where we live. This is like where we work, eat, we're on the computer, whatever. This is where we do things. And so my stuff gets messy sometimes, water, whatever. That's what happened here. But you can see, like, even here, on a day when I had a ton of stuff to do, I was able to fit it on there. So yeah, it's just been working out great. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I love that I can use my vanishing point on here and it doesn't bleed through. Here is the current week. Excuse me. Here's the current week, and this is the week that I'm taking a break from medications, which is really nice. But, well, from injectable medications. And so I have not had much to do, and I have, as far as like after work, and it's been amazing. I could come home and like do things that I need to do at home. So here is my weekend, and I've got some notes here for myself that I need to remember. The Fly Lady missions, the monthly mission, or the monthly focus. And so, yeah, I'm just working my way through it. And when I have weeks like this where it's nice and blank, I'm so thankful, because then sometimes I have weeks like this where it's not. So this is my week coming up so far, and we'll see how that goes. If you notice, there's my birthday. So, yeah, I'm loving this. This is great. It's working out fantastic for my purposes, and I love the size, I love the paper, the quality, I love the white space. For those of you teachers out there, I have been using the ARC notebook, and I love it. I'm so glad I went back to it. I can't even explain it to you. It's made my life so much easier. I feel so much more organized. I feel like my old self. It's nice. I'm starting a new job at my school in July. Instead of being a regular classroom teacher, I'm going to be running the independent study program. Basically, there's going to be me, the full-time teacher, and then there's another person that does like half-time. And so I'm kind of the main person for that. It'll be interesting to see how my planning needs change as my job changes. But I have a feeling that I'm going to stick with the ARC notebook, because it's just, there's enough room. And one of the things that I can't stress enough is when you're in a professional environment and you're given handouts on 8.5 by 11 paper, you need some place to put them that it can stay that size. So like these are my printed out, my grade sheets that I record grades on. I have a little gift card to Apple that I'm supposed to use for apps for my classroom. Haven't done that yet. I have a couple of these, so this is my setup, right? I'll show you my setup. I have a couple of these sliding pocket folders that I can use to stuff things in. So like I have tutorial passes in here for our lunch pass. Have my Post-its and my page flags. These are like translucent repositionable page flags, and these are just Post-its. So these are page flags, Post-its. These are repositionable page flags that you can also write on. Pencil works really well on these. Then just a little notepad that you can just tear off these little, strips of paper. And in plastic sleeves, I have our academic calendar, which is critical to have at my school because things change so much. I have the cadet schedule. We are at like a military type of academy, so I have the student schedule here, and I have the teacher schedule here. These are both critical pieces of information because there's a lot of movement at school. I have this note about Google Classroom, which I probably won't need, coming up here pretty quickly. And then I use these Martha Stewart repositionable that I've used for years, like 3 or 4 years now, and they're still good, to mark the months, because in the ARC Planner there is no section for that. But you get this huge, beautiful monthly calendar, and then check it out. This is what a weekly spread looks like. Tons of room to write. It's so luxurious. It reminds me, after coming out of the weeks, it reminds me of that Seinfeld episode where Kramer adopts the highway and then he repaints the stripes on the highway so that instead of like 4 lanes, it's 2 lanes or something like that. And so they're like these massively wide lanes. And Elaine is driving down them, and she's like doing like swervy driving, and she's like woo, because it's so luxurious. Sort of makes me think of, because there's so much room in here. So let me show you. This is like how I'm using it. So I teach 2 different courses, and I teach 5 different periods of classes. So I put my English plan on this side, I put my career planning plan on this side, and I teach English and career planning on both Mondays and Tuesdays, and then again on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We have a block schedule. So I put my lesson plans on Monday and Wednesday, and I use those lesson plans for all of my classes. And then on my Tuesday and Thursday spots, what I do is I mark off a place for making a note of where all of my classes left off, because they always leave off on different spots. And then I have my prep period on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and so I make my to-do list of what I need to do on my prep period. This is how I used it before, and this is how I'm now using it again, and it's fantastic. This was a note my students were writing an argumentative essay on, like a persuasive essay to convince somebody in their family to stop smoking. So I have my list of websites that we were using. So here again, here's another good example. If I had any notes, I can make notes down here of like, this was a certain number of things I needed to have. But again, lesson plans, where did we leave off? To-dos. Lesson plans, where did we leave off? To do. And then the 5th day of the week, and it's usually on a Friday, is when we don't have school and we do some sort of enrichment activity with the students. So for example, this week they were at school, and they were all getting their food handler's permit so they can get a job when they get out of our school. So this has been working out perfectly, and I can't be happier with this. So here we are on today, and I'm able to make notes. These are my repositionable notes of reminders they're perpetual reminders. I have to do them every week. I have to do grades, attendance, and check their vocabulary time. I've got a note that I can move from week to week. If I have handouts, like I was given this, and this is a schedule, I can punch it, and so I brought it home. I'm going to punch it, and then I can just put it right here in my binder, so I have it and it's attached, and there's no issue with that. And you can see I've got my lesson plans done all the way through the 4th, which is really exciting. And I've got my notes already written on there of events that I know are going to happen. And then, beyond the calendar, I have a divider, and I've been making some notes about the new position I'm going into, of either questions I have or ideas that I have for things I'd like to do. Beyond this, I'm trying to cover some of this up. Beyond this, I have important information that I need to know for my job in the program that we're running. So I keep that in a plastic sleeve. I have more important information, and I'm doing this just to give you an idea of what's in there. If you're a teacher, you need this information, and you need somewhere to put it. So this is my information if I'm calling in for a sub, which hardly ever happens, so you know. This is my login information for the college class that I teach. I teach a concurrently enrolled minor kind of situation. This is information on Socratic seminars and various academic discussion formats, so that I have them when I'm planning lessons and I want to do that. I can just pull this out, and here I have just a huge list of engagement strategies and that kind of thing. The next page is really dangerous, so I'm going to flip it just without even showing it. So I teach a career planning class, and our students need all kinds of personal information that they don't have memorized, so I have information on the next thing for them. This was more on Socratic seminars and academic discussions and activities for engagement, so I have 2 of those. And then this last one, oh, nope, not quite the last one, so I'll just flip it. I have test data, test results for our students, so, and it also has information on what groups they're in and how they're broken up at our school. And then I have a set of pictures of every student at our school, broken up by school group. So there's a lot of moving parts at the school, and so there's a lot of information that I constantly need to have at my, not constantly, but I need to have it at any given time when I'm doing work. And so I love that I can just put it in these plastic sleeves and everything fits in here perfectly, and I have all of the important data that I need, and I have all of the things that I need, and it's just great. The other thing that's nice about this planner is there is a pencil, or there's a pen loop, pencil pen loop, and it's elastic, and so you can fit a couple things in there. And right now I have my Palomino Blackwing 725 Volumes edition, and this is a little, I think the brand is Epo. I think I got these off of JetPens. They're like interlocking. They came with a set, and for some reason I think I can only find this one now. But these are to keep your pencil points pointy, but clearly I need to sharpen mine. Also, so it doesn't mark up whatever bag you're in. But love this. I've been using this. So this is what I use when I do my lesson plans. And a student gave me this, and I thought, I need to do a review on this. I really like this pen. It's a Uniball Air. So this may be coming soon. My students, they know that I like pens because I always have these really cool pens. And so sometimes when they get a cool pen, they give it to me. So he had several, so it wasn't like he gave me his only one. But anyway, I think I'll do a review on that. I wanted to bring this home and test it out. Well, not test it out, but show you. So this is my planner setup for 2017. I've been doing this for a month, and I would have to say this is the first month of 2017, or in a long time, that I feel settled in a planner, that I feel like my planner is working for me, it is not stressing me out, and it's keeping me organized, and it's doing what it's supposed to do. I'm not searching for any more planners. In fact, I haven't even really felt the need to watch many planner videos. I watch a few, and when I see them, I'm like, oh, that's cute, but then I think, mine works really well. Why would I even think about switching? And I'm not only going to save a lot of money that way, but it's working. So why? I don't feel the need to tweak it at all. And it's so funny because I feel like I've come full circle. For a long time, this was like my system. I had two separate planners, work and home. And for a very long time, I used this ARC notebook for years. And it worked. I don't know why I felt the need to change it. I got all this caught up in this like one book July business. I experimented with binder planners, or ring bound, binder style planners, and I've always liked bound planners. So here I am coming back to the bound planner. And for years I used the Women's Success Choice, and here I am back in a bound planner. Not as comprehensive, I would say, as the Women's Success Choice, but similar-ish style nonetheless. I prefer the horizontal instead of the vertical columns, and so Women's Success Choice comes in the vertical. But it's like I feel like I've come full circle. I'm in two separate planners, back in the ARC, back in a bound planner that doesn't have all this extra stuff that I don't really need to keep track of. I'm not a person that keeps, I don't need all those sections in a binder. I just need the calendar that I can have open. I've come full circle in terms of the view. I always had a weekly view calendar, back in a weekly view. Tried daily, tried monthly, tried all kinds of things, tried making my own, tried this, tried that. And it's just funny. After several years of all of this experimentation and all of this buying of planners, I have come full circle to back home to what worked for me long before this planner craze on YouTube happened. I'd always used a planner. Started watching planner videos on YouTube. They kind of got big, like this was years ago, right? Started watching all those because I love that kind of stuff, and just got swept up in it. And I don't regret trying all these things out, but if I had known that I was going to end up in the same place, I might have saved myself all that money, but that's okay. Another fun thing is, ever since my husband got me this pen, in fact, this was happening like 2 nights ago, my husband has started to get into fountain pens. Yes. So I've given him my Pilot Knight. I've given him my matte charcoal Lamy Safari. He loves them both. And now he wants my TWSBI VAC 700, except he wanted a medium nib unit instead of a fine. And I was looking at jet pens, and I looked for the piece for him, and I thought, I'm gonna look for some pens for myself, and I thought, I don't really know what I'm looking for. Like, I don't even know that I really want any pens. And I stopped for a second, and I'm like, what are you saying? And I told my husband, ever since he gave me this pen, I have not pen shopped at all. And I can't even believe that about myself. I've done a little ink shopping, like looking around at ink, but I have so many samples and, I can work through. But he kind of bought me like the ultimate pen that I wanted, and now it's like, I don't know, it's so weird. And I was telling him this, as I was sitting there realizing this, I'm like, this is so weird. This has never happened to me in my life. For the first time in my life, am not like looking at pens to buy. I don't understand myself. So I guess all you have to do is just really like, bite the bullet, buy the big one, and then you never want for any of the other pens. I don't know. I mean, I love this pen so much. It's everything I wanted. So planner and pen update. Love the planning system. Not looking to go anywhere. Loving this pen. Not really looking for any other pens, although this one's really cool. This one's nice to write under a document camera. It's nice at school. Also have to share a quick story about this pen. So I was bringing it to school every day, and I was using it at work. And of course, all the kids wanted to try with it. I'm like, please, don't even come near me at this point. One of my coworkers, who I love so much, and if it wasn't her, if it could have been, it was anybody else, I would have just thrown a fit right then. But she's like the sweetest person I know. In fact, her name is Angel. She's that much of an angel. And she picked up my pen and she clicked it. And I mean, this happened in like a millisecond. And she wrote with the back, like the top of the nib. And like, she's like, what's wrong with this pen? And she started like trying, and I was like, oh my gosh, Angel, let me just take that from me. I said, try this pen. I was dying inside for a really long time. Haven't brought the pen to work since then because I can't chance that again. And then I was paranoid that it was like ruined and all. Oh my god, I threw a fit in my mind. So ever since that happened, this has stayed at home. So it's nice to have other pens for work like this. But as far as wanting, I haven't really wanted for anything. Now that I have this pen, now that I have these planners set up, I feel like I'm good to go. So I don't know that I'll need to do another update in a month. I just wanted to kind of let you know how the new setup was working, but if anything changes, I'll let you know. I know in July things are going to start to change, at least in my work planner, but for now, I'm content and satisfied and things are working, and I feel like that's a good place to be because there's so much other chaos going on right now, that so much stress in other areas of my life, that these tools that are supposed to help me not feel stress, they're working. They're working. They're really helping me. So I hope that you guys have a great weekend, and I'm going to try to have a great weekend. I have some things to do, but I should have some free time as well, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I'm kind of interested to know where you guys are in your planner situations right now. So if you want to leave that in the comments, that would be great. I'm also interested to know if you're in a pen situation like me, like a contented pen situation. Contented? Content? I don't know. It's Friday night, and I've been up since 5, and I'm about ready to go to bed. So, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.